Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Is my microphone sitting the right way? I'm not sure about that. Cool. It is once again Saturday. Which means, this, really. Just turn off my wings for a minute while I adjust myself so I don't block the thing. I'll get that overlay done up eventually. Someday. But not today. For we are about to embark on some kind of adventure. And I do believe this is the longest Ace Attorney story, if I'm not incorrect. More than a case that feels like it's going on for far too long. This is a case that goes on for far too long. Which is why I put part 1 in the stream title. Because I don't know, it's been such a long time, I don't even know how many... Turnabout Ab. I don't know how many parts it will take. 2 cards. One of the Black Raven, and one of the White Raven. A country torn in 2. One to the west, and one to the east. I don't remember this. When those which were split are made whole again, the truth will reveal itself.
The Yatagarasu! The Yatagarasu's here! Don't let them get away!
Ah! Cursed Yatagarasu. Kay! You! 8 hours earlier. March 14th, 10:17 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office's room 1202. Hey, that's White Day! It's so nice, almost dreamlike, to finally have the chance to relax and sip some tea. Especially after what a whirlwind the past few days have been. Excuse me. On my return flight, I was dragged into a case involving an Interpol agent's murder. The next day, I investigated a kidnapping and a murder at the Gatewaterland theme park. And later that night, a detective's dead body welcomed me back to my office. Also, he suffered 2 blows to the back of the head. Is he okay? Along with a thief who was out to pilfer files related to a case from 10 years ago. How did I manage to find myself in the middle of so many cases back to back? Sorry, I'm just taking in his animation here. It's very good. Well, at least I have today. All I ask is that I be allowed to spend it quietly. Mr. Edgeworth! Oh, it was Kay.
Mr. Edgeworth! This is big, big, I tell you! Hey, what's wrong with you? Where's your enthusiasm?
And suddenly, the phrase, "the fragility of dreams," comes to mind. What enthusiasm, Kay? What are you talking about by fragile dreams?
Come on, let's go! The fake Yatagarasu isn't going to just find herself, you know.
Well, if you must know, it's possible that I was paid a visit last night by your fake.
Say what?
Unfortunately for us, the thief managed to escape. But even now, we're still looking for this criminal. However, I must warn you that we've only had a few hours to search so far.
Sorry if I sound a little bit mouthy. I just had soup.
So I must insist that you be patient on this one, Kay.
What's with you today? Are you sure you aren't sleep-talking to me right now? Anyway, I've got something much more important that I want you to see.
Oh, and that is?
What is it? Take a look at this newspaper article. Yatagarasu sends card to embassy.
On March 14th, I'll be there to steal your dirtiest secret. It's quite the bold declaration to send to an embassy. I suppose it was inevitable that a newspaper would catch wind of this.
The date the card mentions is today.
Today?
Come on! We gotta hurry. The embassy awaits.
I suppose it is quite an urgent matter. However, do you know which country's embassy we should be investigating?
Well, it's some really special country, and I'm actually really fuzzy on the details. But never mind that. Where's all your energy? Why are you so lackadaisical today?
Excuse me. It could be the 2 untreated head wounds to the base of his skull. I'm not, Kay. You're just too wound up.
Well, then you should get too wound up too. Because this just might be our chance to catch that woman.
You mean Miss Yu? The woman who killed Kay's father, Baron Faraday, 7 years ago.
Yes. We did go back in time to 7 years ago.
Callisto Yu. She claimed to be the great thief Yatagarasu, and then disappeared from the courtroom.
Ah! She makes me so mad! The phony! Everyone knows that the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a calling card. Until a company's underhanded dealings are made public, the target is always totally unaware that the Yatagarasu has paid them a visit. That's what makes the real Yatagarasu so awesome.
The Yatagarasu's card that's shown in this article. It looks to me as though it could be genuine.
See, that's the thing. Whoever it is, that person isn't the real deal, but does have knowledge of the Yatagarasu. If this isn't a clue that that woman's involved, then nothing is. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Out the door you go.
Wait, there are a few preparations I must make before we go. There's something interesting about this card we found last night here in my office. It's of a different color than the one in the article, which makes me wonder why.
What's up? Any reason why you're boring a hole through the newspaper with your eyes?
No reason at all. Very well. Seeing as how Miss Yu is also someone of a special nature to me, I agree, there is some merit to be found in investigating this.
I knew you'd come around. March 14th, 5 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis. I think that means, the neutral theater. I could be wrong. By the light of this night's glorious moon. Oh, God! We are ready! Ready to embark on our nightly outing.
And this is where our tale begins. I forgot that the Steel Samurai was in this episode.
Look at all these people.
Huh. What a coincidence. Who would have thought that a Steel Samurai stage show would ever be held at such an elegant theater inside a foreign embassy?
Yeah, the climax was really awesome. Steel Samurai Sushi Slash! I got chills down my spine when he pulled that move out.
I suppose it really is more impactful to watch a show in person than on television.
I'll say. I never did tell you all about the concert I went to the other night. It was good. Really good. I have to say, though, this embassy's set up kind of funny. I mean, they have two countries sharing the same building.
Well, as you said yourself, this place and the countries it houses are very special. Even this theater's special in that it's a neutral zone shared by the two countries.
So, let me get this straight. The Steel Samurai show just now is being sponsored by one of the two countries? The one that's called the Kingdom of Alabast, right?
Yes, it would appear that the Steel Samurai is very popular in that country as well.
Seems that way. But you know who I'm really into? The Jammin' Ninja. The Republic of Babal is sponsoring a Jammin' Ninja stage show. That's something for fangirls like me. We've totally got to see that too, Mr. Edgeworth. The Jammin' Ninja show is gonna kick the Steel Samurai show's rear end.
You know, ever since I first met this girl, I've always had this inkling that what she really wants to be is not a thief, but rather a ninja.
So anyway, about today's event, what was it called again?
The Kingdom of Alabast versus the Republic of Babal Goodwill Jubilee. The small European countries of the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babal. These two countries... Excuse me. These two countries used to be a single entity that was abundant with nature. And it was called the Principality of Codopia.
Right. Is everything alright, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I'm alright. Moving on. After a period of civil unrest, the country split in two, though signs of their past remain. For example, their flags preserve the flower and butterfly motifs to this day. Codopia, huh? The KG-8 incident, and what was referred to as the second KG-8 incident, in which an embassy staff member was murdered. Both of these cases were related to the Principality of Codopia. In the 7 years that have passed, the country may have split in two. However, the Yatagarasu still sent a calling card here. What could it all mean? Your guess is as good as mine. 'Cause I don't remember.
Mr. Edgeworth, I know you're thinking about something.
Oh, excuse me. What were we talking about again?
If you could
Sorry, there is a plane about to go over. Give me one moment.
Took a sip. If you could please stop spacing out on me? Anyway, we were talking about the Alabas versus Babal Goodwill Jubilee. The two countries have had a pretty bad relationship with each other. But supposedly, they've been trying really hard to make up recently. That's why they decided to hold this event.
If that's the case, then why the verses?
Also, both countries claim to own the real Primadux statue, a national treasure to both. They're planning to have them publicly evaluated today to see which one's the real deal.
Okay, need I remind you to take care and not succumb to your thieving desires?
Well, when it comes to treasure, I can't help myself. You know that.
She'd better be saying that in jest.
Hey, I can read your body language, you know, and you've got it all wrong. Look, I'm here to do some investigating. Investigating, I tell you.
I know. And although we don't know if the Yatagarasu will really make an appearance, I suppose we should still spend some time examining this place.
Well, goodness gracious me. So many people. I guess we'll start with this camera guy over here. Right, I need to do this. Okay, that's good. Alright. Now give me a dramatic slam right there. Stop! Hey, do you mind? Get out of the way, buddy.
Okay, what's more? In 3, 2, 1, action! Okay, was that my fault just now?
Well, he's obviously working. I guess we should leave him alone.
Oh no! Ah, crap. Not her.
Hey, who's this little kid? Who's this baby?
That's not a baby. There's a flat panel, a tape deck, and a row of Steel Samurai videos on this table. I suppose it's so visitors can watch an episode or two at their leisure.
I guess it really is just that popular, huh?
Yes, although I never thought I would see it reach this level of popularity.
I wonder why they decided to call on the Steel Samurai for an event like this. I mean, it's like they intended to cut the two countries apart with the samurai sword instead.
Wouldn't that go against the whole point of this event? It appears that this child is watching a video from the first season of the Steel Samurai.
Go! Keep on fighting until your last breath!
Oh, that's supposed to be music.
Go, my hero! The Steel Samurai!
Except it's not rendered in a lyrical way. Completely absorbed in singing the theme song, I see. I'll let the child watch in peace.
And we're here, reporting live from the Theatrum Neutralis. As you can see, tonight's audience is full of enthusiasm. Let's see what this member of the audience has to say.
Okay, that was good. Let's do one more run through. Excuse me, but when are you ready to film for real? When you are ready to film for real, would you mind giving me a call? I sense that she didn't hear a single word I just said. Nice try.
Who's this cutie in the green suit? Hello?
This is the perfect angle! Huh? Go, my image! Travel across the wave world and into every TV set around the globe!
Is this man okay?
A more honest approach to appearing on TV might serve your ambitions better.
I'll say.
Oh god, it's running automatically.
The pink princess is a bad hip?
I suppose there is no graceful way to enter this conversation. I'll say. 10 more minutes. But no, in 5 more minutes. But isn't it really bad for me to spend time doing this? Oh, it's no use. Would someone please just tell me what I should do? You appear to be troubled by something. May I be of any assistance? Leave me alone! I'm trying to figure out just the right time to talk to that girl over there. And if I mess up, it'll be because I'm talking to you right now. Someone has his priorities, I guess.
Somehow I get the feeling he's about to fall flat on his face.
Well, let's just do as he wishes and leave him alone. There are pamphlets about the 2 embassies here on this table.
It still looks weird to me.
The country split into 2 a few years back, and they've shared the building and its grounds 50-50 ever since.
Oh, I guess it's because they don't have the money to build 2 separate ones, huh?
I should think that's not the reason why, Kay. I suppose I'll just help myself to one of these. What is all the hubbub? Ah!
Hey, look! It's the Steel Samurai! And he's got his son! The Iron Infant with him! I forgot about the Iron Infant. Well, we gotta check this out.
Hi. May I speak with you for a second? It's the Steel Samurai.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you glaring at him for?
Ahem. Please, excuse me. It's just that I've never seen a superhero up close before. Yeah, that's totally it. To Mr. Edgeworth, Steel Samurai Daddy, worried man of Neo Old Tokyo.
It looks like he's written something down for you.
To Edgeworth from Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of Neo Old Tokyo. Oh, married man, not worried man.
Wow, an autograph! Pretty cool that you got one, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
Huh. It also looks a lot like how I draw spears. Mr. Steel Samurai, Ambassador Alba's waiting for you.
And now the Steel Samurai will proceed to enter the Kingdom of Alabas to shake the hand of the ambassador. The Steel Samurai isn't only here for the 2 countries tonight, but rather can be thought of as a goodwill ambassador from our own country as well. There he goes, off to spread goodwill to the world.
He really does seem like a goodwill ambassador, doesn't he? Okay, we're shooting the next segment now. Cue camera!
In just a few seconds, the Jammin' Ninja stage show is set to begin. After the show, the Jammin' Ninja will enter the Republic of Babal. He's set to meet with the ambassador of Babal at that time. The Jammin' Ninja show's about to start! We gotta get back to our seats!
Regrettably, I don't have much of an interest in ninjas.
Well, the show will change your mind. Come on, we have to hurry. If we miss even a second of the Jammin' Ninja's awesome playing, I'll never forgive you! The Jammin' Ninja debuted in Justice for All, episode 4. The title I've completely forgotten. It always escapes me for some reason. I suppose you're not about to give me much of a choice here, are you, Kay? He was portrayed originally by Matt on God. I can listen to that ninja marked for death's lullaby song all day. I don't know what happened just there. I'm sorry. His superb playing and that sad melody really brought a tear to my eye. And his heart-wrenching voice. Now that's the Jammin' Ninja's greatest weapon. Maybe she doesn't want to be a ninja either. Does she want to be a musician? Those pieces of Jammin' Ninja merchandise over there! I gotta have them! I especially want the hair sticks they're selling exclusively at these shows. They're exactly like the ones the heroine, Princess Misala, wears in her hair. Anyway? Anyway? Hold it right there, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? You're thinking of going home, aren't you? Well, it doesn't seem likely that the Yatagarasu will be making an appearance tonight. Most likely, it was simply a prank. No way! I just know the Yatagarasu will show. Well, if you're here, and I'm here... But I thought you said the Yatagarasu doesn't send calling cards. Yeah, I did, but... I figured from the very beginning that this would wind up being a wild goose chase. But that card she said was a genuine fake calling card. A genuine fake? Well, how can I word this? The Yatagarasu's mark that's on the calling card is exactly the same as my mark. Get it now? We got a problem. Oh no. What's going on? The Yatagarasu's been spotted in Alabast. What? What? You hear that, Mr. Edgeworth? So you finally decided to show yourself, you phony. Hey, what gives? I'm sorry, but I will need to search you before you may enter. What the? Hey! The Steel Samurai just waltzed right on in without one. Now if you don't hurry up and let me through, my phony's going to escape. Okay. A country's embassy is considered to be a part of the country itself. If you don't go through the proper procedures to enter the country... Mr. Edgeworth! I'm going to enter through Babal and climb over the wall into Alabast.
Hold it!
You would tell a prosecutor straight out that you intend to illegally enter another... Kay, are you listening to me? Kay Faraday, and I'm coming through! Yes, and welcome! Someone stop her, anyone!
March 14th, 6:12 p.m. Open air stage. Another plane's going over.
Kay, where are you?
I know that's supposed to be the sound of a fire, but it doesn't sound like a fire. It sounds more like rocks being tumbled, or like a concrete mixer.
Don't tell me you really did find some way over this fence. Ah! Fire! This is too big for us to handle. Looks like the Yatagarasu came to Babal, too. You accursed Yatagarasu. Kay! You'd better be alright wherever you are. Shit!
Oh no. We got Gumshoe and Sheena.
Sorry, I think my sinuses are acting up. Just a little bit. Secretariat's office of the Babalese embassy.
I told you it wasn't me!
Hold it!
Hey, that's that guy.
Kay, are you alright?
Do I look alright to you? Now, can you do something about this woman?
Mr. Edgeworth. Detective Gumshoe, what is the meaning of this? Well, sir, it's, this. He's...
It wasn't me! He was already dead when I ran in here, hot on the heels of the fake Yatagarasu. Look, I only came in here because I saw a suspicious person at the open-air stage.
a suspicious person?
A long black coat and a hood over their head. I dare you to tell me that's not suspicious. When I saw that person, I immediately thought they must be the fake Yatagarasu. So I chased after them into the embassy, then into here, and then lost sight of them. But I just know that person's the one who did it.
What are you so worked up over? There is no reason for you to be this loud. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Agent Lang's secretary. Sheena, I believe your name is, correct? And if you are making an arrest, I assume you have evidence that it was Kay who committed the crime. Is that also correct?
She's not saying anything.
You refuse to answer.
I don't need to answer. You are merely a prosecutor in this country, meaning you have no investigative authority.
Hey, pal, just what the heck does what you said just... Pal, just what the heck does what you just said even mean? If it happened here, it's under Mr. Edgeworth's jurisdiction. The end. And seeing as how this building's sitting on our soil, we can investigate wherever we like.
That is unfortunately not how embassies work.
Unfortunately, Detective, embassies are a different matter.
That's right.
What? This office is considered to be a part of the Republic of Babal, which means that anything that happens in here defaults to the control of the Babalese government and Babalese law. giving them exclusive extraterritorial rights. Extraterrestrial rights? Sir, do you really believe that the truth is out there? Do 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 do. Basically, our country's laws do not apply inside the embassy of another country, is what that means. That is what was agreed to by our respective governments. Our authority to investigate was effectively nullified the second we entered this place. Which means we can do little here in this situation. No way, sir! Please leave this matter in Interpol's hands and go home. Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey! You're not... Mr. Edgeworth!
Oh? In that case, allow me to join your investigation. Who is this?
Who is that?
Miss Von Karma!
Ah! Ambassador Paleno, I truly appreciate you allowing me to join the investigation.
It's really nothing. Manny was my secretariat, so of course I want to help you as much as I can. In fact, it's a blessing that Interpol agents were able to make it so quickly. Franziska.
Well, well. I never imagined that I'd meet you here, of all places. This is an embassy, meaning that you have no authority to conduct.
Hold it!
Already? What is it?
Ambassador Paleno. And you are? I'm Miles Edgeworth, public prosecutor. I ask that you please allow me to investigate this case as Miss Von Karma's assistant.
Assistant? Miles? What the heck do you think you're...
Please, I implore you, Ambassador Paleno. Oh, very well. I'll be counting on the two of you. Miss Von Karma, Mr. Edgeworth? What did you mean by you'll be Miss Von Karma's assistant? I don't exactly have a choice, do I, Detective? If I don't become Franziska's assistant, I can't participate in this investigation.
There you go again, running at the mouth with that aloof expression on your face.
Franziska, please.
I don't know what you're planning quite yet. But at least I do know one thing. That you are now my subordinate. Just remember that my whip is always ready to wake you should you have a brain lapse.
Of course, I'll keep that in mind.
If you are done playing games...
Right. Let us begin this investigation.
The Babali's embassy in the Secretariat's office.
By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here? Well, better late than never, I guess, sir. I was placed on guard duty for the Babali's embassy today. And why are our police guarding an embassy? Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu. They called us up and asked for our help, sir. Oh, and because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu these past 7 years. It was more or less mutually beneficial arrangement, if you ask me. Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose. It looks like you failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again. Ah! Look forward to your next salary negotiation. Although it's out of my hands. But sir, if it gets cut any more, I won't even be able to buy instant noodles anymore.
Tragic! Well,
alright, let's look at the body, I guess. That's our first thing. So our victim was the secretariat of this embassy, I take it.
Nanny Kochin. I heard that he was an admirable person. Very admirable. Really?
The cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in watching his back. You're one to talk.
We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burnt a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle.
So Mr. Kochin was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room?
Cause of death, single stab to base of neck.
I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
Doesn't this look familiar?
Huh. There appears to be something in his pocket. Yoink! This key. It can't be. Isn't this the Yatagarasu's key that was stolen 7 years ago?
What? But that's...
Huh? 7 years ago? Oh! You mean that case where I was framed, sir? Yes. It's the piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago. Which was then stolen by Callisto Yu.
What?
Mr. Faraday was killed with this key, sir? I thought he was killed with a knife.
Yay! Scruffy, at the very least, try to remember the details of crimes you were a suspect in.
Franziska, as you will recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. This is true. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been made privy to such knowledge. Oh, I feel like the victim right now, all trampled on, sir. I suppose I'll just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is...
It is secretly... a knife!
There it goes. Whoa! Whoa, that's amazing, sir. It's like some kind of magic trick.
Indeed. Oh?
I knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern in the blade.
I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it?
Yes. It appears to be two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade. I have not had wine. Vines, sirs? I think it looks like a bunch of stars, if you ask me. One of those six-sided stars, just like the police mark on our IDs. I really don't think you can call these stars. To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement.
The real question is, why was the Babali's embassy secretariat holding this?
While we don't know how Mr. Kochin came to possess this key, we do know that this was stolen by the Yatagarasu from the Kodopian embassy.
That's right. Mr. Faraday had written that fact down in his organizer.
I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Kodopia.
Why don't you ask Ambassador Paleno about what he knows? Supposedly, he was a candidate to be the next Kodopian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you might have. I suppose so. But let's investigate a little bit more into Mr. Cochin.
This man. Where do I know him from?
I thought we established that already.
This is a knife wound.
It is obvious what he was killed with, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound. Indeed. Another dagger over here.
Is this the knife for the murder weapon?
Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. The blade's shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wound.
I suppose this means that we now know that the crime was committed with this knife. This knife's got some really fancy ornamentation going on, huh, sir? This thing practically screams artsy at me, too. Although it's also covered in blood. Just like the last thing I said was artsy.
But the handle is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe it has a butterfly motif. It is very beautiful. Now, why is that a logic piece?
We've got a lot of blood over here. A lot of blood over there.
Liquid.
This ceiling fan must have fallen from the ceiling.
You think?
A ceiling fan? What does one of those do? Oh no. Don't tell me you don't have one of those in your house. Or wherever you live. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a fan that is installed on one's ceiling. Well, if I had one of those in my room, I bet I'd go dizzy from staring at it as I slept. Detective Gumshoe, in the real world, we close our eyes when we sleep. God damn.
Let's talk to Mr. Paleno. Ambassador, I should say.
I can't believe that Manny fell among thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is. Ambassador Paleno, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of, listening to reports from the police. That, and only that. I ask you to cooperate, not only for your own sake, but for Mr. Cochin's as well. You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating! I really like this guy's emotes. Here, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these.
Coupons!
I'm sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept a bribe. Oh, no. These are simply coupons we distribute to promote Babal. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Babal. Now I remember. The Republic of Babal is known for its feverish tourism industry.
Let's ask about Cochin.
I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased, Manny Cochin. He was my secretary, and the embassy secretariat, charged with running the whole place. He was an admirable man. His death is a great loss to our country. He was in charge of everything. Accounting, printing, taking care of our national treasures. I'm sorry, but did you say printing? Our country's primary source of revenue is our tourism industry. So in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., We have a printing press here at our embassy. I see. Please excuse my forwardness. However, I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression that I've met him before. Oh, yes. Since you are of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have. After all, Manny was involved in the KG-8 incident. The KG-8 incident? The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny.
That's right.
So your Mr. Cochin is the same man as the one in that case. It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into his job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee this embassy's renovations. It really is a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him. Oh, why am I dizzy now? Why am I lightheaded?
Oh. I should take a sip. Ugh. Renovations.
What exactly did you mean earlier by renovations? Oh, we can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy thinking we're a poor nation, can we? So renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We may have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is now no longer with us.
So it seems. Codopia.
Ambassador Paleno, I was wondering if I may ask you about Codopia. Codopia? All right, what would you like to talk about? First, I'd like to ask you about this key. What about this key? I found it sticking out of Mr. Cochin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy. Is that correct? Upon closer inspection, it seems that this key is shaped like a butterfly. That's not all about this key. It's also capable of changing into a knife. Like a butterfly knife. Oh! How fascinating! Is it possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key? Huh. In its knife form, there's a flower mark at the base of the blade. Huh. I guess this knife might be from when we used to be part of Codopia.
Hold it!
And how did you come to that conclusion? Well, it has both of Codopia's national symbols, the butterfly and the flower. I suppose Manny used this key here at the embassy back when we were still Codopia. Ambassador Paleno, this key was stolen from the Codopian embassy 7 years ago by Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu. Oh, really? You were not aware that Miss Yu had broken into this embassy at that time? I'm sorry I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became the ambassador after Babal became its own independent nation. But if Manny were still alive, he would probably know about what happened back then. Mr. Cochin and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago. But that doesn't explain why I found the Yatagarasu's key here in the present. I did say I wasn't drinking wine. However, the can of Suntory that I just finished may say differently. Hey, look at my badge. Oh! Is that a prosecutor's badge? It has a very cool design. Haha, I know! We should start selling items like this as souvenirs in Babal. The tourists will absolutely go nuts over them. Please don't compare a proud symbol of my profession to a cheap souvenir. What do you think of this autograph? Ambassador Poleno, I was wondering if you might have some thoughts on this. I think that you would know more about the case than I. So let me make it up to you for not knowing anything about that with these coupons! Thank you, however I feel I must decline.
How about this?
Oh dear. If people were to find out that a murder occurred at our embassy, the number of tourists would plummet, as would our revenues. It'd be a disaster. What are we going to do? He really does seem worried. Perhaps I should refrain from bringing this up.
That's right, we can look at this.
There's a lot of skilled detailing on this handle. I believe this is a butterfly. This is one amazing ornamental knife. And I'm really glad that this beautiful butterfly wasn't ruined by the blood. There's not even a single drop of blood on it. It really is quite exquisite. So much so that even you can understand its beauty, detective. Hey! Why do you always have to look down on my taste, sir? I know what I like, and this is really well crafted. Why do I look down on his tastes? Because, my dear detective, I'm afraid your tastes are usually quite questionable. This knife. It would appear that the handle is removable. Hey! I guess so people could change them whenever they felt like it? Sounds like fun, sir. I don't think people would remove the handle just for fun, detective.
Let's look at the blade.
So this is what took Mr. Cochin's life. Some of his blood is still on the blade. Wow. I've been a detective for 7 years already. I've seen a lot of weapons in my days, but knives that were used to kill are always the hardest for me to bear. Yes. Unlike guns, this is one weapon where you're likely to find the victim's blood on it. Yeah. Just like how this one's practically drenched in it, huh, sir? Oh boy. Despite that, it looks like the blood managed to miss the handle somehow.
I wonder why that is.
But oh boy, all this talk about blood is making me feel dizzy.
I don't like that. Oh. Let's try this.
Oh, isn't that about our great embassy? How do you like our pamphlets? I feel indifferent about them, to be honest. I'm just using it as evidence. Oh, that's too bad. In that case, I guess we'll just have to try harder to make more charming ones. I just had a flash of inspiration! We should make all of our pamphlets into coupon books. His expectations of what a coupon can do is just a tad hyperinflated. Sorry, I just thought of a terrible joke. And I'm going to spare you all that. I need a... Ugh.
Goodness gracious.
I have no memory of this place. Hey, it's another butterfly! I believe it is the symbol of the Republic of Babal. A drawing this big on the wall of an embassy. Well, it's more than a drawing, it's a mural. It definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism. Well, I got a lot of patriotism too, sir. Oh god. The reason I became a cop in the first place was because I wanted to protect our country. whatever country this is. You may want to, Detective. However, I have yet to see the fruits of your desire. Oh, God. Speak less, Edgeworth. I want to hear less about the fruits of anyone's desire. You don't have to be so blunt about it, sir. Good gravy. Oh, I'm gonna come back. I just need to... Oh. My hands are feeling a little bit funny. Just one moment.
I promise I'll be back. One moment. I have tea now. Yeah. I've also found a dessert. Some kind of fudge-looking substance. There I am. Okay. Back into it.
Kay, are you alright?
You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, right?
Yes, of course I don't. Of course I don't, and I promise to prove that it wasn't you.
That's enough chit-chat. You can investigate all you like, but it's only a matter of time before we take her in. It would be wise of you to give up while you can.
No, I don't think so. Kay is not lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true.
Go ahead and try then, if you're that confident.
I can't allow this to continue on this way. I must prove her innocence post-haste.
Yes. What do we got over here? A cool shirt.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's still something on this display rack, sir.
Knife blades.
Knives, huh? Although the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. I guess the handles all got burned off by the fire. So even the knives fell victim to the fire. Ambassador Poleno, are these knives yours? Why, yes, they are. They are a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of Babal. These butterfly-themed knives, along with Alabast's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. But I can't believe the Babalis once have been reduced to this state. Ornamental knives, huh? There's a small release on the tang of this blade. Ambassador Poleno, what's this notch here for? Oh, that? It's a feature of these knives wherein you can freely exchange the handles on them, so that we can change how they look to fit the situation, of course. I see. So these knives were constructed that the handles could be easily removed.
Yes. What's all this?
These shelves are lined with American souvenirs and memorabilia. It's really strange, isn't it? I mean, I thought this was the Babali's embassy. So, why are there so many American souvenirs, sir? Perhaps the Babalis are studying American culture and our tourism industry? Wherever our tourism industry is? If they have plans to make the Babalis' tourism industry truly flourish, then they would need to observe and study other countries' methods, I suppose. Speaking of tourism, I got these from the blonde guy earlier, sir. He said that if I bring these with me to Babal, I could trade them in for a few buffets. Ooh. That is pretty good, actually. Oh. So how do you expect to travel to Babal? Well, the whole world is connected by oceans, sir. And for an all-you-can-eat buffet, I'd swim all the way to Babal if I have to. Can a few simple coupons really motivate people to do such fantastic things?
No, just him. A clock.
It looks as though this was once a magnificent grandfather clock, but it has fallen victim to the fire. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, is it okay for me to talk about the clocks in my house, sir? You have clocks in your house? If they're unrelated to the case, I hope that you'll refrain from sharing, but... Well, there's this one clock that I made by myself, but the timer manages to keep getting set to auto. That's quite enough, Detective.
Miles Edgeworth.
What is it?
Let me tell you something. You are currently my subordinate. And if you wish to convince everyone else of that, you will speak to me with respect. Well, whoosh.
What's with that giddy glint in her eyes? I don't think that will really be necessary, Franziska.
Oh, really? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you are still under me.
I thought Franziska was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy?
What can it all mean? Hey, tell us about the murder. I was investigating at the Alabastian embassy when I got wind of this mess.
Ah, that's right. The Yatagarasu was due to appear at that embassy as well.
Yes, but the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there. Although there was an incident at the Alabastian embassy as well. But I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came over to the Babali's embassy.
Ah, so Agent Lang is here as well, huh?
You think Sheena would be here unattended? I see you've met. Well, he's in the Alabastian embassy acting as bodyguard for Ambassador Alba. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. Does he? So, the suspect in the murder that occurred in this office is that little girl I see. Is she perhaps trying to be the Yatagarasu?
Kay would never harm a soul, sir.
Kay?
You remember, do you not? About that case we investigated together 7 years ago? You remember, don't you? That girl's the daughter of the victim from that case, Mr. Faraday.
So, she's that feisty little girl.
Kay's been on the trail of the Yatagarasu, which is how she ended up here. Looking for the one who took her father's life. Looking for the one who took her father's life, I should say. I see. Kay's trying so hard, but you know what? The Yatagarasu just keeps on tricking us all. How so? The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, "I'll be there to steal your dirtiest secret." But all we've had is an arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. You know what this is, sirs? It's a breach of contract, and it's going on the rap sheet. What? If you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that nothing was stolen tonight. I do wonder, though, if Callisto Yu really is the Yatagarasu. What about your prosecutor's badge? I have one too, you know. Ah, yes, so you do. But seeing as I'm not currently a proper prosecutor, I thought I'd give presenting it a try. Is that any way for you to act towards your superior? Ah! As if threatening a whipping is the proper way of lecturing someone. Look, I got the Steel Samurai's autograph. Are you jealous? Well, since you asked so nicely as my subordinate, I'll answer you. Over as your superior, I must also make sure that my subordinates grow on the job. Therefore, please gather your own thoughts together first, and then try presenting again. A simple "I don't have any thoughts about that" would have sufficed. It appears that he died of a stab wound. Ah! Whoever did this had a lot of nerve. Yeah! I just can't fathom what could have led the killer to turn a knife against a man. Desperation? Self-defense? I just can't fathom what the prosecutor lashing out with her whip is thinking. Hey, remember this?
Would you mind not pointing that in my direction? It is dangerous. And anyway, why are you showing it to me?
I've no particular reason.
Ah! If you have no reason, then don't you bring that dangerous object near me, do you understand?
Ah! Is she really that oblivious to the irony in that statement?
Yeah.
She lets loose that dangerous whip of hers for no reason all the time.
To be fair, how old is she again? She's 19. She hasn't developed her self-awareness yet. Still. It takes a while. Like 23, 25.
Oh, oops. And the other one is... she has no thoughts on. And she doesn't have any thoughts about the map, that's fine.
What else can we look at? Oh, we've got dudes over here. There's a safe.
A small personal safe.
This was Mr. Cochin's office. So, perhaps he stored his most important documents in here.
Ah, of course it's locked. It appears we won't be able to open it without the key.
Oh. I think I understand. What's this?
That's some fireplace. You know, it really gives this place a mansion-like quality, don't you think, sir? Oh, if these are a staple in every Babali's house, then I bet Santa Claus pays them a visit too. Just, how old are you again, detective?
It's like 35 or something, right?
Oh, I can literally just look it up in the profiles. He's 32. I was close. Hi. Sorry, but Interpol is still conducting its investigation beyond its point. At this point. I'm a subordinate of Miss Von Karma. Is there some reason why I'm being denied access? My superior clearly stated, don't you dare let anyone near the site, you got it? If I let you examine the site, my superior would get really angry at me. You know, Mr. Edgeworth, I feel real bad for the guy, so why don't we do as he says? Yes, I suppose we might as well.
At least, can we look at the desk here? At least.
Apparently not, otherwise we'd be forced to step over Mr. Cochin's corpse. And as we all know, we don't want to do that. Because this is a national treasure, could I ask that you please not touch it? I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat.
Okay.
Hold it!
Alright. But there's a possibility that it is related to the murder, wouldn't you agree? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We could force them to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof. Wow, Gumshoe's saying something smart. I suppose I don't have a choice here. This must be one of the Primaduck statues Kay was talking about earlier. Is it just me, or does this man look just like the Steel Samurai? They could be twins. That treasure, only AMP and Secretariat can touch. Well, the sus better not have a perf owl. Terrible reference.
Now, let's see. I believe this is right. This seems right.
The design on the knife's handle. It greatly resembles the special Babali species of butterfly.
It does, doesn't it? Plus, it says right here,
This knife is property of the Republic of Babal.
Oh, my nose is really itchy.
Perhaps this means that the knife used in the crime was found right in this room.
Like on the wall over there? I think this is right. I could be wrong.
We know for a fact that the Yatagarisu's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found it in the victim, Mr. Cochin's pocket. Which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to the personal safe in this office.
Oh, good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out.
It appears I was correct. The key that was left to us in the victim's pocket. It literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth.
Hooray!
What do we have here?
That's unusual.
Hey, there's nothing inside. Do you think the Yatagarasu made off with everything, sir?
Well, clearly not.
No, Detective. I believe all we need is a closer look. I won't rest until I have inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny.
You bet.
Looks like such a serious safe, but there's not a scrap of paper inside.
Gumshoe. Yes, there is. Look again.
Which reminds me, the safe in your office is just as empty, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? It's merely a coincidence that both safes are empty, Detective. We'll make that a triple coincidence, because my piggy bank at home's empty too. Oh dear. I don't think there's anything coincidental about that, Detective. What's this here? It looks like the ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir. No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more to me like it's stuck in the safe. Hey, you're right. It won't budge an inch, not even if I tug on it. But I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck on the inside of a safe before.
Hold it!
Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange. It's the safe. What do you mean? What I mean is that the secret to this safe is that it has two compartments. There's a fake bottom. Even just eyeballing it, you can see that the inside is just a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I'd say there's an extra bit of space behind the back wall of the safe. In other words, this safe has a second compartment.
What? I suppose that you are correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct and there's a second compartment, how do we go about opening the door to it then? As you can see, there's no other lock or keyhole in sight. Isn't there?
Actually, there is one more spot of interest to me on the safe.
Oh,
Yes, and I believe that spot is the keyhole to our mystery second lock.
the safe and its locks. Alright then. Since you are so sure of yourself, show me how you deduced your answer. I got it.
Maybe.
Eureka!
Urethra! I don't know why that's so funny to me. Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Franziska?
The shape. It does look very familiar. However, I believe it is simply a latch hold for the safe's lock mechanism. It is just for keeping the door shut, nothing more.
Hold it!
Oh, really?
Is that so? The person who used this safe, Mr. Cochin, made sure that this safe had 2 compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think someone like that would allow the keyhole to the hidden half to look so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person could figure it out?
You can't be serious. Are you saying that this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of the safe?
That's precisely what I'm saying.
Huh!
And I will prove it to you right now. That the Yatagarasu's key is the key that will open it.
Objection!
The Yatagarasu's key? Miles Edgeworth. This had better be a very bad joke.
Sorry, but this is no joke. I have no sense of humor. Aside from that, the Yatagarasu's key is the very key that will open the second compartment of this safe.
We know that this key opens the first compartment of the safe. But the keyhole you are talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key. Is it? Ah!
Let's go over this again, shall we? The Yatagarasu's key was originally made to open Mr. Kochin's safe in the Kodopian embassy.
By the way, kids, don't do this at home.
We confirmed that as fact by opening the door to this safe with it. Now let's take a look at the back end of the key. Looking at the knife portion head on, what do you see?
What are you talking? Oh my god!
It appears you've come to understand what I'm talking about. When viewed head on, the knife's blade is the exact same shape as the keyhole.
It's a double key.
The real function of the knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe.
But that's preposterous. And yet not impossible.
Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago. We fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife.
What?
But for both the safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks, whatever's hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance. Sorry.
My face is very itchy.
It's usually the first thing I get before a cold or something. My poor mum's had a sinus, so maybe I've caught it as well.
Then it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside. Scruffy, hurry up and open that safe.
Yes, sir. Opening it now, sir.
Doohickeys!
These items, it's a bunch of funny shaped things. I guess they're pieces of art, huh, sir?
Ah! You're in the way. Now move, Scruffy.
I didn't think I was in the way.
These pieces of art. They're identical to ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world.
I figured as much. These are the treasures this section of the safe was to hide from view. I believe a more thorough examination is required.
What do we got?
These are pieces of stolen art from around the world. Oh, excuse me. I wonder how much they're worth, especially this one.
Scruffy, don't touch these valuable pieces of art with your filthy hands. Why, do you have any idea what would happen to you if one of them was to break?
Is it just me, or did she hit one of the pieces of art just then? Oh dear.
Alright, let's look at this piece of papers.
This is the document we thought was stuck earlier. I wonder what it's about. Beats me, sir! Why don't we take a look at it first before we give up, Detective?
I can't read this. Aside from the John Hancock, that is Manny Cochin's signature.
Mr. Cochin's name's written here on the last page.
Toys! Blah 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 blah.
I wonder what the significance of this document is.
Spreadsheet. 1 of 3.
To build this sort of trick into one's safe is really something. Yeah, it's neat how the safe has 2 compartments, but what's really impressive is that at the under end of the key was another key! I totally hadn't noticed! It's like when you pull the mask off a guy, and it turns out there's another mask! I wonder if Mr. Cochin was just paranoid, or if he had secrets of that greater value. Oh, speaking of paranoid, I once sharpened both ends of my pencil. But then when I went to erase something, I got all paranoid that I was gonna stab myself. Please refrain from dispensing your special brand of unrelated stories while on duty. Yes, sir. Here's we found the key that the Yatagarasu, no, Miss Yu stole 7 years ago. Since it was originally from this embassy, maybe she came back to return it. I don't think she's the type to be so kind as to do such a thing, Detective. Okay then, what do you think, sir?
Ah! Callisto jump scare.
Callisto Yu. For what reason did she steal the key?
Sorry. My hair's getting everywhere. It's not helping my nose case. Seems to be everything here. Let's talk to Gumshoe for a little bit.
Yes, sir?
Actually.
Hmm.
Actually. Yeah. Hey! Oh, did we not pick up the thingy? Really? How are you, Mr. Man? What do you think of this?
This statue resembles that hero, the Steel Samurai, don't you think? I was thinking, what would you say to changing its name to the Steel Samurai statue? It just might attract a few more tourists to our country if I did, right? I'm not sure what to think. I thought that thing was a national treasure.
Alright. Okay. I guess this is it. Let's do this. Stretch my nose. Oh, it did work.
To steal your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirty secret the Yatagarasu was out to steal is in this very room?
Dirty secret.
Franziska, you're in pursuit of some dirty, underhanded dealings yourself, are you not?
Sorry.
Something tells me that this is no coincidence.
In that case then, the person I'm looking for is here in the Babali's embassy, huh? The head of the smuggling operation?
I think I just might need to ask Franziska about her smuggling case in more depth.
Oh, there we go.
Before that though, I need to... Give me a minute, I need to do something. Gross. Sorry. Had to clean my nose. Hey! Let's ask about the smuggling. Francisco, when we last talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you're here right now is related to that?
Yes. After analyzing the intel we've gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. And this is what tipped us off.
This accounting document?
It's only one page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about all the details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper was made only in the Principality of Codopia.
Fascinating.
Which means that somewhere in the countries of Alabast and Babal is the head. The one pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling ring.
That's Francisca for you. She's amazing, pursuing this case with all she has.
There we go. Perhaps... Aha! There we are. Deduction. Speaking of deductions, I saw that the detective's getting a new game! I'm very happy to see it.
Eureka!
Can't wait to play it when it comes out. I'll stream it.
Take a good look at these documents, Francisca!
It says that there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Oh, get with the program! You have the other one!
Correct. Now take a look at the smuggling activity documents in your possession. Tell me, is it not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3?
Well, it certainly looks that way.
By putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. It seems that you have now found what you were looking for.
Yes, and with this, it has become crystal clear that Mr. Cochin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Babali's ink.
Babali's ink?
Babali's ink is a special product of the Republic of Babal. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported.
Hold it!
And that reason is...
You make drugs out of it. That's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems that the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Cochin.
His base was in an embassy, thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere, making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation.
But it's so frustrating. I lost the person I was to rain judgment down upon with my whip of justice.
Well, even if he's dead, we still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds.
You expect me to whip a dead man?
Well, I'm not interested. Franziska, you must know that Manny Kochan was the suspect in the KG8 incident.
Of course I know. On top of being the head of the smuggling ring, there is the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved.
Investigation complete.
Are you done investigating? You realize now, don't you, that this girl is the only one it could be. Now come along quietly, Yatagarasu, Kay Faraday. You are under arrest for the murder of Manny Kochan. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you have to believe me, I didn't do it! I chased the fake Yatagarasu in here. And he was already... You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Hold it!
I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests Interpol makes.
What is that supposed to mean?
I believe I told you that Kay Faraday is not the culprit of this crime.
Very well. I suppose I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are.
Here we go. Why arrest Kay?
Even your police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Babali's embassy tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into this embassy. Furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu. And most importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with the body.
Your reason for suspecting Kay is because you think she is the Yatagarasu.
Exactly. But it isn't just me. She calls herself the Yatagarasu. Look! How many times do I have to tell you? I was only out to capture the fake Yatagarasu. Imposter or not, it matters not.
What? Oh, I don't like how that is.
A Yatagarasu is a Yatagarasu.
Very well. Then I shall prove that Kay is not the Yatagarasu who killed Mr. Manny Kochan.
Go ahead and try. Show me what the prosecutors of this country are made of.
Only if you let me have some more of my fudgy stuff.
Hold it!
They may have confirmed it, but are you telling me that no one could catch the thief? If so, you're basically admitting that the Yatagarasu that committed murder eluded us.
The concept eludes me. Of course. I chased after the Yatagarasu that entered the Babali's embassy right away. And that is also why I'm making this arrest right now. Because at the end of my long chase, there was only this girl.
No!
In any case, this is what I believe happened tonight. Utilizing the fire, we gotta
Hold it!
The confusion caused by the fire? Are you saying that the Yatagarasu was not the arsonist who started the fire? You're saying someone was just arsing around?
A suspicious person in a long coat was spotted in the area. Officers in the area claim to have seen that person start the fire.
It sounds like we have a phantom in our midst. Yeah.
But not the Phantom. Don't worry about that one.
In a way, he could be considered a phantom, by the way he randomly appears. Oops. Nobody else with the body?
Hold it!
I really don't think that being the first to discover a body makes her the killer by default.
No, but if you saw the self-reported Yatagarasu standing in front of a body, wouldn't you get a little suspicious yourself?
Gosh, that stare. Gah! Even so, I'd still listen to what that person had to say before I passed judgment.
Are you talking about yourself and those times when you were under suspicion?
I think the pain of being falsely accused is something you really should experience. I personally know that feeling really well, sir.
Given my situation, I know exactly what it's like too. I'm fine with never experiencing it ever.
Well, if we never see you in Ace Attorney 7, we'll know.
Are you done with your little group conference?
So Agent Sina suspects Kei of murder simply because Kei is the Yatagarasu. What if I can prove that the Yatagarasu's goal was not related to murder? Then I may be able to begin to reason with her. Yatagarasu infiltrated the BC. Oops. Still claims to be the Yatagarasu. I kinda skipped over it. Just because she calls herself that doesn't prove that she's a killer.
No, but it does give her a motive. The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, "I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret." Furthermore, there are documents pertaining to some smuggling activity in this room. She obviously wanted to steal them. So she killed Mr. Cochin for the key.
Aha! I see. Her logic is very sound. I expected nothing less of Agent Lang's secretary. However, that statement just now didn't sound right. That might be just the opening I need. She wanted to steal documents regarding smuggling, so she killed Mr. Cochin for the key.
Except, well, would you look at that?
Objection!
Hey! Hey! What's going on here? I guess not.
What do you mean it's wrong? Do I need to present the actual Yatagarasu's key?
Objection!
Oh, I did.
What? That's silly.
Oh wait, no, I think I get the idea. I was thinking she killed the guy for the key, except the key is still there in his pocket. Agent Sheena, I regret to inform you that there's a flaw in your logic.
Oh?
Even if you claim that she is the killer and the Yatagarasu, I'm certain that securing the smuggling documents is not the motive behind the murder. The key to the safe in this room was found on Mr. Cochin's body.
Yeah. So why didn't the details of his body work?
Furthermore, the Yatagarasu would not be so stupid as to leave without the documents. Oh, I don't like that smile. By the simple fact that the documents were still in the safe when we looked. It's obvious that the killer's target was not the safe at all.
Then perhaps she didn't know that Mr. Cochin had the key on him.
Objection!
It's his key.
If that's the case, then why would she have needed to kill him? Because I can think of no reason for her to kill him, if she hadn't known that fact.
Need, reason. All of this is simply our conjecturing after the fact. It's entirely possible that she accidentally killed him when she was sneaking in. Perhaps she didn't notice the safe's second compartment before returning the key.
Huh?
Except... But the fact still remains that Mr. Cochin was stabbed to death.
Objection!
I sure have no definitive proof that it was Kay who committed the act.
Actually, I do. I saw her holding the knife she used on the victim with my own eyes. Oh no.
What?
Allow me to tell you a bit more about the evidence that will put her away behind bars. Uh-oh. Definitive evidence. The knife wound on the body is consistent with the blade of the knife. The knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon which the killer was holding. I assume she obtained the knife from the display rack and used it on the victim. The knife is a part of a special three-piece set, which has a design like no other. The evidence and testimony, it all points to the girl. There is no counter-argument. I beg to differ. For that is the aim of the game.
That is your definitive evidence.
You see now that she is definitely the killer, right? No! Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta believe me! We do believe you, Kay. I saw a suspicious person in a long black coat outside the embassy, I swear!
And you came in here because you were chasing this suspicious person.
That's right! I ran into this office only because I was chasing after that person. That person? Anohito. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the lights, but then... Ah! Who's there? This is... I came to this room upon hearing the girl scream. And when I saw her holding the knife, I immediately restrained her.
So the object Kay felt by her feet on the floor was the murder weapon?
I had the knife analyzed right away, but we failed to find anyone's prints on it. But the person in the black coat who came into this room before me... You continue to insist there was such a person. But if there was, where did they go? I don't know. But I know they came in here. That sounds like the desperate excuses of a suspected killer, not a trustworthy testimony. You understand, don't you? We can't trust this girl's words, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, she has a point. Even if Kay's words are the truth, they must show that they are with some solid evidence.
Mr. Edgeworth, I really didn't.
Kay, don't worry. If you didn't do it, then there must exist a way. There must
Who wrote this line?
If you didn't do it, then there must exist a way for me to prove that. That is very unusual grammar. That's like... what would you even call that?
Anyway, still not giving up, I see. In that case, try to counter my argument, if you can.
Don't worry. I can and I will. Give me 5.
Hold it!
Does this mean you already have the results back?
We have confirmed that the shape of the Babali's knife's blade matches the wound. Please don't confuse the efficiency of Interpol's forensics teams with your own.
Objection!
I won't if you don't underestimate our police force. And so we're clear, I'd hardly say your logic is sound, which you'll see in a bit.
If you can prove me wrong, please, by all means, go ahead.
That's been my intention all along. Now let's return to your testimony.
The knife with the butterfly handle.
Hold it!
Except,
You mean to say that you saw Kay holding the murder weapon with your own eyes?
I was also on the search for the Yatagarasu. When I heard that girl scream coming from this room, I rushed over straight away. When I arrived, I saw that girl standing there motionless with a knife in her hands. But I already told you I only came in here because I was also after the Yatagarasu. They came into this room. When I entered, it was pitch dark. I felt something by my foot on the floor, so I turned on the lights and then...
You found out that it was the murder weapon at your feet.
How many times do I have to tell you? We can't trust the words of a suspect. Actually, you're supposed to listen to the words of a suspect, because that's how you collect testimony. Even if they're lying.
The only thing you'll accept as evidence, is it?
That's the only acceptable way to counter an agent of Interpol on the scene of a crime. Somehow, I don't think that's actually the case. Not in real life, anyway. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have some kind of evidence that can prove me innocent? Of course, this isn't a game set in the real world. I gotta keep reminding myself that.
I think I do, because there's one piece of evidence I find to be a bit interesting. I think I need to carefully examine that piece of evidence again.
Sorry. Leant over just a bit far. Whoop. Let's have a look.
There's a lot of skilled detailing on this handle. It would appear that the handle on this knife is removable. I guess so people could change them whenever they feel like it.
That can't just be it, right? There has to be more to it than that. Isn't there? Unless...
We discovered this trick 7 years ago, and with it, we were able to corner Miss Yu. But who could have thought that I'd see this key again after all this time? It's not that far-fetched to think that the end of this key was meant to be a butterfly. The keymaker must have been a true patriot to have fashioned this after the national symbol.
the Patriots.
ask that you please refrain from speculation. It's a sound hypothesis derived from the evidence. There's no room for debate. Ah!
Miles Edgeworth, know that an ungraceful loss will not be tolerated, my subordinate. Now rebut her hypothesis with factual logic. Otherwise, what was your investigation for?
Yes, you're correct. Thank you.
Helping a subordinate out with advice is the job of any good superior.
She seems to be rather enjoying herself, but she is correct nonetheless.
Hold it!
Let's listen to this bit. About the three-piece set, is there really no other like it?
Let's ask Ambassador Polino for more details, shall we?
Ah, the knives are indeed special. They have the butterfly, the symbol of the Republic of Babal engraved on them. And because there are only 3 of them in the world, they are very, very valuable. The national symbol, Well, the knives are covered in that butterfly design. Along with the Alabastian set, our respective countries only have 3 knives each. I see.
Are you satisfied now? If so, let's continue.
Okay.
The knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon which the killer was holding. Except...
The actual murder weapon was by Kochan's body. Right? Yeah, it's right there.
Objection!
Shoot!
Was I mistaken?
The knife wound on the body is consistent with the blade of the knife. Except... Oh shoot, it's 10:30, which means I forgot to turn off my nightlight again. Hold on. You probably just watched my thing turn orange. There we go. Is it the fact that the knife wound, not the knife wound, but the knife handle rather? Is it the fact that it's just, it's been swapped out or something?
Objection!
Oh, there we go. So the murder weapon was the knife with the butterfly design on it. But is that really the truth?
What are you getting at?
I'd like for you to take a look at this.
Weapon!
There's blood on the blade, and yet not a single speck of blood on the handle. It signifies that at the time of the crime, a different handle was attached to this blade. The knife that Kay was holding had its handle switched, and was in fact not the real murder weapon.
It wasn't the real murder weapon?
This knife can be taken apart. Shall we give it a go?
There we go.
As you can see, the Babali's knife has now been disassembled into two parts. The killer must have pulled the murder weapon out of the victim's body and proceeded to swap the knife's original handle with this butterfly one.
Ah, look, it's an Alabastion blade.
It was all to create the illusion that Mr. Cochin was killed with the butterfly-themed knife.
Ah,
This should clear up any and all suspicion surrounding Kay.
your argument isn't airtight yet.
How so?
It's possible that the girl herself is the one who switched the handles.
Hold it!
Don't be ridiculous. For what purpose would she do such a thing?
I don't care to know how a criminal thinks. The way they view the world is beyond the comprehension of a normal person like myself.
No person who describes himself as normal ever is, usually. Guys, she's just so normal. She's so normal.
Therefore, I wouldn't put anything past them, no matter how odd it may seem.
Objection!
Huh. The truth is right there in front of you, and this knife will show you the way. You will come to see that Kay is not, and could not have been Mr. Cochin's killer.
What is this mark on here?
It's the mark of a flower. I assume you know what this means.
No, not really. Butterflies rest on flowers all the time to drink their sweet nectar.
And so they do. However, would this butterfly really drink the nectar of this flower? The answer is clearly not a chance! Now to prove the relationship between the butterfly and the flower with this!
Take that!
You can't be serious.
It appears you've made the connection. The flower on this blade is designed after a certain country's national symbol. That's right, the Kingdom of Alabast. In other words, this blade is from one of Alabast's ornamental knives. This part of the knife handle has Babal's national symbol of the butterfly on it. Therefore, it is undeniably Babalese in origin. But as we both know, you can't kill someone with just a knife handle. Unless you struck really, really hard. Again, don't try this at home. Incidentally, when exactly did the murder occur again, Agent Sheena?
After the fire had broken out.
That's right. Kay entered the Babali's embassy after the fire had already taken place. Furthermore, she had not been to the Alabastion side of the building before then. On top of that, not a single person passed between the two countries during the fire. Which means that Kay could not have transported an Alabastion object over here. This makes it impossible for her to be the true killer.
If she pulled back any further, she could probably win at Limbo.
Whoop! Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What a great victory.
Not quite.
Huh? Hey. Why is everyone so quiet? I'm happy we got this far and cleared Kay's name. But what worries me now is what will happen next.
Objection!
Oh? Franzi? What is the meaning of this? Inaba?
Didn't mean to say that.
An alabaster knife here?
Do you mean... how... You mean to,
What?
Oh, okay. I think I get it. Do you mean... how did this find its way to the Republic of Babal? It didn't just find its way over. Rather, we should focus on how it was smuggled over.
You know what? My brain hurts thinking about it while we're just standing around. Thinking while you're on the run? Now that's the way a real great thief operates.
Okay?
Thanks a bunch, Mr. Edgeworth, for proving me innocent, I mean. You believed in me the whole time, right? Tell me you did.
Not really, but...
Yes, you did. Come on, you don't have to be shy about it.
Your argument is still not airtight. Would you care to elaborate? I understand now that the girl didn't commit the murder. However, there is still the possibility that she is the Yatagarasu.
That again? Look, how many times do I have to explain it to you? I am the real Yatagarasu. I'm not like that fake one that goes around setting fires, okay?
Whether you're the real deal or a fake, it doesn't really matter. All I have to say is this. I have my suspicions that this girl is the one who started the fire.
Objection!
Preposterous! On what grounds do you suspect her of such a thing? The fact that she calls herself the Yatagarasu. That in itself is the most elegant proof.
Miss Sheena,
Yes?
I have no intention of taking back any of what I've said.
What?
I am the great thief Yatagarasu. And I refuse to allow some imposter to claim that name as their own. The path of justice that my father pointed me towards, I will walk it the best I can.
It's not good to be so stubborn. I hope you can understand that.
Thanks a lot for the concern, Miss Sheena. Let me share something with you too, as a token of my appreciation. Those sunglasses totally do nothing for you, so I'll steal them from you next time, okay?
What?
Well, I guess we better get going.
Going? To where?
To the Kingdom of Alabast. If we don't go, we won't know for sure, right?
I suppose not. We won't get anywhere simply by standing here thinking. To see where the Alabastian knife came from, we'll have to pay the Alabastian embassy a visit. Let's go, Miles Edgeworth. I forgot how smooth that animation is. As you are my subordinate, I will not tolerate you bringing the investigation to a halt. Understood.
To be continued. Shillong Lang pushes back.
I see, I see. I see. However, I made a promise to myself, going into this, that I would not overwork myself doing this stream. And honestly, I feel like this is a good place for me to just thing, 'cause being honest, I was a little bit over the place. That can of Suntory probably didn't help. But next time, we will I guess, head to the Alabastian side of the embassy and see what Agent Lang has to say. Until then, thanks for sticking around, and hope you catch me next time.
Bye. Yo 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 yo.